So I believe that every single person, the best people in the world have coaches, the best coaches have coaches.
Yeah.
And so I just believe that if you're serious about development, and that's a personal question that you have to ask, if you are serious about development in any area of your life, in real estate, in business, you should have a coach that can help you see the field. And if they're a coach that's worth their salt, they are going to make sure that you get a return on your investment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can speak firsthand to investing in yourself, investing in a coach does pay off. Now, here's the kicker, because I do want to bring this up again. We, like you stated, we're here to actually help people apply stuff, not just talk for entertainment. But the one thing that I have found out, and I want you to kind of speak to this too, I think some of our issues, and this goes back to an internal thing in individuals. I think some of the problem is when we get a coach, when we find something, when we see something, we're not consistent at it,
Boy, you
and
better
we're
stop.
expecting certain results in a particular time frame. And if it's not in the time frame that we're saying is supposed to happen, then we say it ain't working. Am
So,
I right?
boy, not on. So you posed a question just so I could say that you're right. So that would be the first time I ever say that in our relationship. What I'm going to say is that you're not incorrect. How about that? And so I think that people have a misconception of coaching. First, one, they don't know what good or bad coaching is, and there are some bad coaches out there. There are some people out there taking advantage of. But then, as a recipient, as a someone who is being coached, I think having one realistic expectations. Right, what do I expect to get from this? Coaching is not an easy button. Coaching is a strategy. It's going to help you create a plan and a system, but it's not going to say just because you hired a coach, now you're going to be excellent. Now you're going to be a great and excel at a thing. You mentioned that idea of consistency. Are you willing to be consistent doing what your coach asks you to do, even when you don't feel like it, even when you disagree with your coach? Right? Because Phil Jackson, great coach. And so here's how good Phil Jackson was, is that he did it with the Bulls and when he did it with the Lakers. Right? So and
Multiple
now
times, not just one.
multiple times. And so this is where I remind everyone that great coaches, they have a system and they can figure out how to make things work with what you have. Right, so
Yeah.
they'll come in and say, well, what are your skills, what are your talents, what are your weaknesses, how can we create a plan so that you win, but you must be willing to do the work, because at the end of the day, I can sit here and draw up the plays, I can create a strategy for you, but you must go out there and execute. And it's not a one-time execution. Is execute during practice, execute when the lights are dim and no one's out there, execute on game time, but then you must execute game after game after game when you're sick, when you don't feel good, when the economy is crappy, when you had a bad phone call and someone told you that they don't want to use you or that they canceled a listing agreement or marketing consultation. Then you still have to show up and execute, knowing that if you do the right activities consistently over time, like the law of the harvest, like
Yeah.
if you sow, you're going to reap. We think that if we sow today, we reap tomorrow. We don't think about that fallow season when things are happening underneath the dirt or behind the scenes.
Yeah, Eric says it this way: small steps, great distances.
Oh, come
And
on.
it's taking y'all see.
Neil Oates, you said Neil Oates said that, right?